What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Life with Estes. In today's video we're going to be talking about the next step, which I'm running the underground utilities to the back of the property. Okay, so I talked to the power company and they told me from the power pole I need to dig a 4-foot trench, 4-foot deep trench all the way back to the back of my property back there. It's 1,200 feet back there to where we're building the house. So I rented a mini excavator. I'll insert a picture of that so y'all can see it. After I had the trench dug, the guy came back out just to make sure that it was up to code deep enough. He told me 4 foot, so I made it about a little over 4 foot, so about 4 foot, probably close to 6 inches in most spots with that mini excavator. So now the next step is I'm taking this 3-inch conduit, runs all the way up to the pole. Right now is how far I gotten it. There's a metal 90-degree turn at the end down there that'll run it up the pole. So it's 3-inch conduit that I'm running a rope through as I glue it together, and I'm taking it all the way back there. I'll show you the spots back there, but there's going to be 2 boxes. So the first cabinet is at 550 feet. That cabinet is really just where the wire will be tied together. And then from there, it'll run again another 550 feet to the transformer, which will be about 125 feet from the house. Okay, so each of these 3-inch conduit sections are 10 feet long. So what I'm using in order to get the rope through it, because power company told me I need to use a rope that can withstand at least 500 pounds. So the cheapest option I could find was just going with a 1,000-foot paracord. I bought 2 rolls of that. It was about 50 bucks each. And then I'm using this 12-foot extension pole in order to push the rope through each section before I glue the next section on. Okay, so after I finished getting all the conduit in the ground, the inspector came out, took a look at it. He was happy with it. So the next step was backfilling the trench with about 30 inches of soil, which is about 2/3 of the way full in the trench. And then once I got that backfilled in, I had to lay this caution tape all the way down the trench. So it goes all the way up to the telephone pole at the front of the property. That's that first cabinet at 550 feet. So I had to lay this caution tape in the ground. That way if anybody ever digs right here, they'll see that there's an electrical line below. So I ran that. I used a painter, a roller for a painting in order to roll that line all the way down the trench. After I finished getting that tape in the ground all the way back here, the next step was the base for the transformer in that cabinet I pointed out a minute ago. So unfortunately I had already taken the skid steer back, so I had to dig this out manually, so that wasn't very fun. So I'd recommend keeping that skid steer long enough to dig this out. So I dug it out right now, so when I put the transformer base is sitting on its top right now, it'll flip back over into the trench. However, I have to put gravel down here first. So I put it down in here just to get it measured and at the correct depth. So right now the top of that base is flush with the ground, because it's supposed to be 5 or 6 inches above the ground when I'm done, when it's finished. And I got to get 5 or 6 inches of gravel in here. So I got some gravel back there, which I'll be putting in here shortly, but I still got to dig out for that cabinet down there next. I'll show you all that shortly. Okay, so I just finished digging this one out again. I should have kept that mini excavator here on site to do this, but anyways, dug it down so I could put 5 or 6 inches of gravel at the base of that, and then this cabinet will go in here. So what they'll do is from the telephone pole up there at the corner by the corner of the driveway, they'll run the first cable through this conduit all the way down, and it'll come up this left side conduit right here, and then they'll just tie it together inside this junction box and run the new wire down this conduit, and it'll go all the way down there to that transformer base down there, which I just showed y'all. Okay, so after I ran that caution tape in the trench, the next thing I did was tie into the water line, and I ran my water line all the way back here. So I'd have a spigot, and then once we build the house, I'll dig another trench and I'll connect the water, and I'll run this conduit all the way up there to the house, so that we'll have utilities at the house. So after the water line, I finished filling in the trench all the way to the front, and then the next step was putting some gravel in here for the base to sit on, and I did the same down there for that cabinet up there, which I'll show you in a minute. So I was trying to fill in this trench last night, and it was getting late and getting dark. I was probably rushing a little more than I should have, not taking my time, and ended up getting my tractor stuck in this trench, and it was teetering on two of the wheels. In order to get it out, excuse me, in order to get it out, I ended up putting dirt and a rock under one of the tires, and I put my trailer ramp underneath the other tire. So this trailer ramp right here, this is where I got it stuck. So there wasn't dirt here yet, and I was trying to pull the dirt into the trench, and it was stuck kind of catty-cornered in the trench right here with the back tire in the trench. And then this is the rock and dirt that I used under this front left tire. And then, like I said, I used the car ramp right here underneath the back tire. Okay, and here's the gravel in the other one for this cabinet, which will sit down in here. Okay, I got this cabinet set in here now on top of the gravel, and the inspector said this door needs to be about 5 to 6 inches above ground level. So now I just got to backfill in around it. All right, I got the cabinet and this transformer base buried back with dirt to grade. I'm going to continue to let the trench settle as it rains over the next couple weeks. Then I'll come back in with my father-in-law's tractor, was a little smaller than mine, and kind of clean this up a little bit, make it nice and smooth. Last thing I got to do today is I'm going to just trim these two pipes and the ones in the other cabinet, because the inspector said he wants them just below the surface of that base. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe.